Hello, my dear friends. Today I'm talking about Jupiter in signs and houses. In Aries, that means you feel good when you take initiative. Jupiter also shows something about your religion and philosophical beliefs, your ability to get the big picture, to understand the world. In Aries, that means you have to grasp them fast. If it takes too long, you got bored and move on. Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter in Taurus thinks that every problem can be solved with more money. The philosophy of life tends to be materialistic. Unless something else interferes, the general philosophy of life will be materialistic. Even love is like this. Jupiter in Gemini is in the sign opposite to the one that it rules, Sagittarius, so it's said to be in its debility. So the planet of expansion are here, and expansive can express itself in the area of communication, the way it did in the horoscope of Jackie Kennedy, who spoke several languages, for example. Jupiter in Cancer is exalted here, and the exaltation is very positive quality. Good luck can be squandered, and so-called bad luck be a spur to the ambition. Jupiter here is supposed to increase the luck. It certainly did that for Oliver Cromwell, for example, who never lost a battle. His Jupiter has square aspect with Mars and Saturn, and he was also a religious fanatic. Not good, actually. I mean, fanatism is not good. Normally, Jupiter here is a little more cheerful in religious matters, but it does tend to be conventional and dogmatic. It also tends to offer extra protection during childhood and tend towards comfort at both the beginning and in the end of life. So this native is protected during his life. Jupiter in Leo wants to show off and be a big spender. Of course, whenever possible. They will do so with someone else's money. So be cautious when you meet somebody with Jupiter in Leo. Be careful about your money. Jupiter in Virgo can make a lot out of a little. Very efficient. I know one lawyer with this placement who told me that he practically took over his class in constitutional law when he was in law school. This can be a good placement for business. Nevertheless, Jupiter is the planet that enables us to get the big picture, and Virgo is the sign of details. There will be a tendency to get bogged down in details when trying to put everything together. It's about that. Don't wait to be perfect everything, because otherwise you will not start anything in life. Jupiter in Libra shows how you can put all those little facts together, how you get the big picture. Air sign, as Libra is, will do this fast. Libra tends to take time. It has to balance all the factors, unless something else interferes. Jupiter in Libra feels secure and safe in partnership situations, so they have lucky in partnerships. Jupiter and Scorpio. In the area of religion and philosophy, there is a tendency to be attracted towards all things hidden and mysterious. I have Jupiter and Scorpio. Also, you can be a very good private detective to discover things, to find mysteries and secrets of others. Jupiter is where you are lucky. Well, at least it is where you feel good and secure. So you can relax there and get things done easily. Jupiter in Scorpio can give you luck in dealing with others, people, money, and resources. and having this available for you when you need them. Actually, it's right, because I'm working, when I'm not doing astrology, actually, I'm working in an insurance company. So, with other people's money. Jupiter in Sagittarius gives luck with a good chance that it will be blown through overconfidence. The astrologer Rod Chase gave a lecture on Jupiter and mentioned that two of his cousins had it placed in Sagittarius. The first cousin had it in the house, in the 7th house, the marriage house. She was married 3 times, and this is an old line southern family where no one got divorced even once. The other cousin had the Sagittarius Jupiter placed in the 8th house, which rules, among other things, sex and inheritance. She inherited over $1,100 and blew it all within 2 years. So it depends very much how you use this Jupiter in Sagittarius. Yeah, it's about mastery of using the luck in life. Jupiter in Capricorn can be very good for business. One person with this placement can inherit a large real estate business, pull it back into the black against all odds, and then proceed to lose large sums speculating in commodities. Jupiter in Aquarius tend to get attracted to unorthodox belief systems. It certainly can be friendly, but it shares the Aquarian tendency to love people in the abstract and non-actual living, breathing human beings. This is a very dangerous for be attracted to all kind of sects and strange groups that can manipulate other people in a big time, to believe in all kind of things. And I'm not talking about astrology here. Jupiter in Pisces is help your ability to get the big picture. This can be really big, huge actually. The imagination tends to be enlarged. Excellent for musical talents and taste, including dance. Very talented person. A lot of native talents. Maybe that person should use in his life. When it's about houses, Jupiter in the 1st house gives you the traits of optimistic, lucky, and with the tendency to say the first thing that pops into your mind. If you have this placement, don't get into the habit to relying too much on your luck, because every now and then it shuts off, and then you will be in real trouble. The other drawbacks of this position are tendency to gain weight and no desire whatever to listen to anyone else. Advices. Jupiter in 2nd house. It's supposed to be the planet for good luck. Actually, sometimes you can find people with Jupiter in the 2nd house very poor. What the hell has happened? Jupiter is where you feel lucky and optimistic, even when they get it. The people with this placement are so afraid of poverty and they work like crazy to have enough. But even when they get it, they still feel poor. Enough is never enough for them. Those with Jupiter in 2nd house, however, tend to feel lucky. Whenever they need money, it seems to fall in their laps. Jupiter in the 3rd house. One drawback here. If you are ever depressed, no one will believe you because you communicate sounds so cheerful. Speech flows freely, sometimes too freely. Learn to tell people too much. If the rest of the horoscope doesn't back up this placement, then there will be a tendency to talk big and not deliver. You talk too much and do nothing. Jupiter does have its perils. Communications tend to be optimistic, maybe too optimistic, and relations with siblings and neighborhood very good. Jupiter in the 4th house. You are favored to have good parents, and you used to be a spoiled only one child. You really need a larger than normal home, and you will get it. Later in life, you will tend to travel, study, or both. Jupiter in the 5th house. Oscar Wilde had this one. No, it doesn't make you gay. It just means more of everything. You feel confident wherever Jupiter is, and that frankly leads one to expand, to experiment. Confidence in romance, creative endeavors, and gambling. There is a danger of feeling so overconfident that you take too many risks. Jupiter in the 6th house gives luck with finding jobs. Just make sure that you don't blow it after they hire you because you happen to get bored. Make sure that you are up walking around at work. Jupiter rules the legs and they have to be kept active here. Co-workers and subordinates are generally jovial, happy, and they come from foreign places with totally different backgrounds. Maybe the native will work abroad also. Jupiter in the 7th house. This Jupiter can give you more marriages, and all of them happy. Jupiter shows the place in your life where you feel confident and overconfident, where you can overreach yourself. It can favor marriage to a foreigner or someone from a totally different background, or to someone in a Jupiter occupation, teaching, religion, architecture. Jupiter in the 8th house is generally free and open to the sexual experiment. It's a tendency to be turned on by foreigners or those from totally different backgrounds. The native can take credits from banks many times, maybe to borrow too much. So should be aware of the administration of the wealth. Jupiter in the 9th house can give luck through long journeys and higher education, and also to find foreign people that are coming to help you when you need, or a business in tourism, or in foreign countries, or maybe you move in the foreign countries. Jupiter in the 10th house can give lucky in a career. You can become a boss very fast in life, and to become powerful, influent, very visible, and very appreciated by others. Specific Jupiter occupations run the gamut from professor, preacher, and philosopher, and high finance also, and any occupation involving world travel. Jupiter in 11th house can make it almost too easy here. There will tend to be luck through friends and different groups, and ability to attract those that can help you in the right moment. Friends can maybe rather wiser than richer. Here it's a danger that maybe you have too much hopes and wishes and you will not be able to fulfill. Jupiter in the 12th house. Here it's a hidden house. However, while maybe has a limit your luck, or your luck is not visible for others, can protect you from physical harm, especially from enemies. Also, it's very favored for spiritual and artistic activities, or even to become a very talented spy. So this is about placement of Jupiter in signs and houses. Look at your natal chart and see where you have Jupiter. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye bye.